Royals baseball comes to you from downtown Minneapolis. And as you would expect, it is a chilly Monday afternoon, but it's opening day. Target Field should be jam-packed. The Royals have won 5 consecutive series here. They begin the 2017 season with the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Everybody is optimistic on opening day. The Royals last year finished at 500. Even Minnesota is optimistic. They're coming off 103 losses. But if you're a Royals fan, Hud, why should you be optimistic beyond opening day?
Rhino, it's great to be with you and all the championship fans out there. I got to believe that there's something up the core players' sleeves. And when I say core, I mean the core of 14 and 15, those great championship runs, Ryan. They're not satisfied. This could possibly be the last season they're all together. So look, they want to go out and win another championship for themselves and for the fans. They remember what it was like. It was a blast. And there's some new guys, too, that could help them. They're looking for a full-time bus driver, and hopefully it's 1 through 9 every night.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those new guys. And when we come back, we'll discuss some of the new faces, including Brandon Moss, the Royals' new designated hitter. He's in the lineup today and batting 6th. Royals baseball. Baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Kansas City Royals. It was a busy offseason, and in doing so, the Royals acquired a future right fielder. Jorge Soler will start on the disabled list. A number 3 starter, a number 5 starter, a new designated hitter, an important part of a reconstructed bullpen. So a lot of new faces that the Royals think are going to help them get back to the playoffs this year. Of those 5 we just showed you, Hud, which one stands out?
I think Hamill is going to have the most pressure on him. He himself, when he joined the ball club, said he wouldn't be able to fill the shoes of Ace. It's going to be a tough year for him to be able to try to do that, but he has the capabilities. He's a veteran, keep the ball down, use that great defense out there. He should be all right.
How about Brandon Moss replacing Kendrys Morales as DH.
Won't be easy. Morales brought a lot from both sides of the plate, but what Moss brings is more versatility. Ned can use him in the outfield, can use him at first, and he shows some King Kong power in spring training. We'll look forward to seeing that.
Dayton Moore, Ned Yost, Dave Island all say this might be the best starting rotation the Royals have had during this recent run. And leading the way and on the mound today will be Danny Duffy, who had a career season last year and one of the best seasons in Royals history for a left-hand starter. We'll talk about the Royals' new ace when we come back. Target field continues to fill up. It's the first time the Royals have ever begun the season in Minnesota. And it's the first time that Danny Duffy will be a big league opening day starter. Kia puts us in the driver's seat. But last year, Danny really turned the light switch on. His career turned around, I thought, in the areas of strikeouts per walks and pitches per inning. Really was the key for him.
Yeah, you know, everybody envisioned him when they signed him a long time ago that he would be a starter, but you know, it didn't work out. They put him in that bullpen, and what that did was it helped him focus on throwing strikes. And what he did, and we show you the highlight there of the strikeouts to balls ratio, pitches, you know, he's eliminated all that by throwing strikes in that bullpen. Now coming out last season and showing everybody, especially those on his team and his manager Ned Yost, I can be a starter and a good one. And he's earned that starting nod, opening day starter today.
All of the attaboys and have a good season, and let's get ready to go. And we're just moments away from the first pitch of the 2017 season here in Minneapolis. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Ford, going further so you can. This has been a good place for the Royals. They've won 12 of their last 15 games at Target Field. They've won 5 consecutive series at Target Field. And the first pitch of 2017 is coming up next. The schedule came out last year. We all wondered, what were we in for? April 3rd, outdoors in Minneapolis. All things considered, not bad. 51 degrees. There's rain, light rain around Minneapolis. The forecast has been changing by the hour. Just yesterday, they were calling for rain beginning at first pitch and continuing throughout the evening. But slowly but surely, that rain has been pushed to 5 o'clock. Now 7 o'clock is when the rain is supposed to arrive. So good news for the Royals and the Twins today. Royals batting order, and Ned Yost really didn't tip his hand until the very end of spring training who was going to lead off for him. Now Cetus Escobar never really seemed to be in that mix, and then with a few days to go, Ned's going to go back to someone who's had a lot of success leading off, Alex Gordon.
That's right. You know, Alex, he has the ability to walk. He's one of the most patient hitters on the Royals team offensively, and it's worked out in the spring. And what I witnessed, Ryan, and you saw a lot more games than I did, but I saw a confident Alex Gordon. He looks like he's gotten his swagger back. He himself admitted he had the worst season of his career last year, and he's ready to put that behind, as well as everybody else's statistics. It's time to play ball. Who knows, if the Royals stay healthy, they can win, and they believe it.
34-year-old Urban Santana gets his second straight opening day start, a one-time Royal. 7-11 last year, but his ERA was very good, 3.38. That was 10th best in the American League.
Yep, Urban's in his 11th season as a big leaguer, and they all know him very well. They know he possesses a fastball, slider, a changeup. He's going to throw a lot of sliders. Matter of fact, he threw the third most sliders of anybody in the American League last season. So they know what to look for. He's not overpowering. At one time he was, but he's going to be in the high 80s, low 90s.
So here we go. Pitch number 1 of the 2017 season is down and in. Alex swung the bat well in Arizona, so a good sign for him as he tries to forget about last year, wipe the slate clean. That's a little bit inside.
Yep, Alex knows what his job is, to get on base. He said his goal is to score over 100 runs this season.
Out into right field, Max Kepler makes the play. One down.
Defensively, the Minnesota Twins. Now, they had a rough season, losing 103 games last year, but their highlight this year is going to be their defense in the outfield. Rosario, Buxton, Kepler. Those are all guys that have good range and good throwing arms. Their infield's a little different. Sano started in right field last season. He's at third base this year. New shortstop in Polanco. Dozier and Mauer over there on the right side. Dozier's a strong defender and a strong hitter.
Moustakas lifts it into that outfield. So first Kepler, now Buxton. 2 down. Santana spent 2013 with the Royals. And he gets Lorenzo Cain. And hopes to play a lot more than 103 games this year.
Yes, that's his goal. Stay on the field. And he trained really hard this offseason. Doing a lot of long wind sprints, 100-yard sprints. Trying to make sure those legs are going to stay for what he says is 160 games at least. I was going to say, Ryan, they got a new catcher this year in Jason Castro. Was with Houston for several years. Got an opportunity to come over here.
Two and one on Cain. And there's the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Santana will throw that pitch at any point in the count.
It's a slider ball machine.
Just miss a location. Home plate umpire is Jerry Davis, and appears to have a hitter-friendly strike zone in this top of the first inning.
Good spot right there. That's exactly where Santana wants to keep that slider.
And Lorenzo.
Hey, there's some 95 from Irvin.
I believe that was ball 4, wasn't it?
I think it was. Haas is getting ready to get in that batter's box. Yeah. Haas started coming up to get it. He says, "My turn to hit." Lorenzo, he wanted to hit. He didn't want the walk.
5 or 6 balls. Let's go.
Exactly. Look, I don't care. A hack.
Career high 25 home runs, a career high 104 driven in for Eric Hosmer last year, a second consecutive career season. Didn't hit many home runs, didn't have many hits, but drove in 16 against the Twins last year.
Okay, Moose was the only one that was first ball hacking, and he hit a line drive. So being patient, and he's had some nice numbers against Irvin. 8 for 23, 3 big flies.
Rosario is there, so all 3 outfielders get a put out in a scoreless top of the first inning. Danny Duffy, for the first time in his big league career, is an opening day starter. Minnesota Twins lost 103 games last year. That's the most for the franchise since moving to Minnesota. But most of their problems were on the mound. They had some respectable offensive numbers, mostly middle of the pack in the major offensive categories, and it was a record-breaking season for Brian Dozier, their second baseman, who hit 42 home runs last year. 40 as a second baseman. That was an American League record.
Yeah, incredible year for him. And every time he faced the Royals, it seemed like he hit a homer. Maybe we can change those fortunes on him by executing some pitches.
Danny Duffy's numbers from last year. He was the Royals pitcher of the year, career highs in wins, starts, innings pitched, and strikeouts.
Yeah, certainly Rhino loved the fact that he had 188 strikeouts and just 179 innings. Anytime a pitcher has more strikeouts than innings pitched, you can tell he's strong, and he's got a good fastball, changeup, and a slurvy breaking ball to go with it. The changeup much improved. Also, the maturation of Danny Duffy from the mental side has improved, and that's really changed his game.
Back to Duffy. One down. And a look at the rest of the Royals defensively today.
On the forward defense here by the Kansas City Royals are looking good. Gordon Kane, Orlando. Apollo Orlando, he deserves a shot out there in right field. I'll tell you, Mondesi, he's the one that no one expected to be there, but he's got that spot. Hosmer, Moose, Escobar, Salvador Perez. All the world champion players are out there and looking forward to a solid year. Many of those with gold gloves and a couple more with potential. Moustakas still doesn't have a gold glove. Salvi, Haas, Escobar, Alex Gordon. All those guys wear the gold.
1-1 on Robbie Grossman. He will begin the season as Minnesota's designated hitter. Changeup. 1-2.
You know, Duffy's matured so much that he understands he doesn't have to blow it by anybody anymore. When he first got up here, he wanted to just blow it by everybody and show off that powerful arm. And now he's learned how to, back off. Less is more, and it's been effective for him.
Changeup followed by a fastball. A good sequence of pitches there, and Duffy has his first strikeout of the year.
The thing that hitters would tell me from facing Duffy last year from the opposition, they would say that he uses a slide step and he throws all three pitches out of the slide step at any time. So it's really difficult for the hitters to pick him up, and that's the art of pitching. You can deceive the hitter. If you have a plus fastball like he just showed Grossman there, you're going to have a majority of strikeouts.
2 down to Byron Buxton. Minnesota is going to take a step forward as an organization this year. They need Byron Buxton to be the elite talent that they predicted he would be when they drafted him in the first round. Second overall pick in 2012. He's out in front of a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Buxton has a lot of ability. There's no question. Last year he started to emerge, especially that speed and his golden arm. Put the two together in center field, makes him pretty dangerous defensively. He can rob you.
1-2. I remember when Dayton Moore took over, he said, we need Alex Gordon and Billy Butler to be all-star caliber players. And we need Mike Moustakas and Eric Hosmer to be those type of players. Salvador Perez. Well, Minnesota really needs Byron Buxton and Miguel Sano to break out this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maybe not all-stars or MVP caliber players, but impact players.
If Dayton, was a fortune teller and he had a crystal ball, he'd be a good one. He'd be a high paid one because he's been right on his calls. They're hoping they're right with Buxton.
Changeup. Duffy threw some great changeups and had a 1-2-3 bottom of the first with 2 strikeouts. Salvador Perez will lead off, one of the best hitters in all of baseball in this ballpark. Very impressive first inning for Danny Duffy with a comebacker and 2 strikeouts to begin his 2017 season. Salvador Perez, Brandon Moss, and Paulo Orlando coming up against Irvin Santana. Salvi goes after the first pitch and pulls it foul. Our Kubota power stats. Salvador Perez has the 2nd highest batting average in the history of this ballpark, the 3rd most home runs among non-twins, and the highest slugging percentage of anybody. So you can see why he's swinging at the first 2 pitches of this at-bat. Usually when he swings and makes contact, good things happen.
Yeah, you know, he's always been an aggressive hitter. This year, hoping he can be a little bit more selective, get on base a little bit more for those guys that hit behind him and knock him in. But they don't want to take that aggressiveness away from him here in this park.
1-2. 22 home runs for Salvi last year was a new career high. And home runs came up quite a bit in Arizona. The Royals were among the league leaders in the major leagues in home runs hit in spring training. You can take that for what it's worth, but the Royals don't only believe they will hit more home runs this year, but they believe home runs will be a big factor in their offense after hitting the fewest in the league last year.
Well, any indication of spring training, you're correct, Ryan, because they were impressive. I mean, ball was flying out of the park. It usually does in Arizona, but they weren't scraping the back of the wall. They weren't wall scrapers. I mean, right here now, 3-2. Irvin Santana's not going to groove him a fastball. He'd like to walk him instead of giving him a pitch he can drive. Salvi's normally aggressive.
Gave him the first hit for the Royals this year comes from Salvador Perez, and the Royals have their leadoff man on.
Okay, Salvi's looking for it, and sure enough, Irvin gave it to him. He's lucky he got the top half of that ball. If he gets underneath it, that ball would have been out, been 1-0. Good swing. He earned that. Started the count 0-2. Spit on those sliders he was trying to get him to hit. Swing and miss on, and he got the knock.
28 home runs for Brandon Moss last year playing with the Cardinals. 0-1 to Moss. He tailed off in the second half and really played the second half with a bad left ankle. And for a left-hand batter, that is his back leg. And it's hard to hit for power when you don't have your back leg.
Better believe that. Ankle, knee, hamstring, anything that's nagging you on that plant leg back there, you're in trouble. Santana keeping the ball away from Moss.
Castro puts down another changeup for Santana, and it's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Moss got into a nice groove at the end of spring training, but I've always wondered, Hud, I bring this up every year, you go from Arizona and Florida where it's nice and warm, you're breaking a sweat every day, you're in short sleeves, you just feel good. You're doing that one day, and the next day it's 51 degrees and the wind is blowing and you've got a turtleneck on. Your hands are cold. Twins were lined up perfectly for that ground ball. 6-4-3, 2 down. How hard is it to translate that feeling at the plate going from Arizona or Florida to a cold day like today?
Well, it's very difficult, Ryan, but as we know and you know, this game is played upstairs above the shoulders, so it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. So you have to get through that, but there's a very difficult adjustment for these guys. I think the adrenaline of opening day sometimes will carry them through it, but it's hard.
2 down to Paulo Orlando. The slider's in for a strike. So what you're saying is you may not feel as good as you did in Arizona or Florida, but in your mind you're saying, hey, I was swinging the bat well this spring.
Exactly. You have to be able to move through that, maneuver through it, because it's not going to change.
On the ground to Sano, takes an extra step and throws a strike over to Joe Mauer. So the Royals get their first hit. Danny Duffy back to the mound. No score to the bottom of the second. Home turf and the dimensions here at Target Field. A big left and left center. 411 to deepest left center field, so the most ground to cover is at center and left center. It's Joe Mauer Takes outside from Danny Duffy, and Alex Gordon played more right field in Arizona than he did left field, trying to move him around. Alex even got his wish and played some games in center field.
And loved every minute of it.
2-0 on Mauer. And Ned Yost made it very clear that he wants Alex to become more comfortable in right field as he is in left field. That there will be occasions where Alex Gordon will start and play an entire game in right, giving the Royals a little more flexibility. 2-1. Let's go to Joel. Joel, what do you think the plan is going to be the first couple months of the season?
Well, talking it over with outfield coach Rusty Kuntz, he said that if Soler or Moss are out there, then if the stadium has, say, a bigger right field, a more challenging right field, then Alex Gordon will go over to right field and take care of that. Moss and Soler would go to left. The interesting dynamic to that, as we will see, great timing, Alex tested in making the fantastic catch, is the fact that they really trust Paulo Orlando and feel that Orlando is at a point where he can go out there and do the same type of things as Alex Gordon. So more likely than not, you'll just see Orlando in right and Gordon in left. The change comes with Moss or Soler, but Rusty said, I absolutely trust Paulo Orlando to know hitters' tendencies and to be where he's supposed to be at all times.
Joel, it sure helps when you're an athlete, just like that athletic play we saw by the Gold Glover out there just now. When you have that ability to make adjustments on the fly, the fact that they want to play Gordon, who may not be the fastest outfielder in the biggest part of right field, that's a huge compliment to Alex and the jumps he gets on contact.
Joel and I actually rehearsed that with Alex before the game today.
Where'd it go?
Nice. We're in mid-season form.
Yeah.
Tip of the cap to Alex.
Way to go, fellas. Good timing.
Now Miguel Sano off the end of the bat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hud mentioned it with Trevor Plouffe, their longtime third baseman, still on the roster last year. The Twins, in trying to get Sano into the lineup, used him in right field. And his natural position is third. Trevor Plouffe is now playing for the Oakland A's. Here's the slide step, and it's 2-1.
Well, Sano had a good season, or a spring season at the plate, but you know, defensively he made a few throwing errors, and it's going to be a time for him before he gets very comfortable over there. And it's going to take some everyday play, and they're going to have to be patient with him.
Changeup stayed high. 3-1 on Sano. Duffy has set down the first 4 Twins. Went right after him with a fastball at 94.
That's a tester fly ball there.
And Mondesi out from second base. 2 down.
Whew, man, that might have hit the roof in the old Metrodome here. That ball was sky high. And Mondesi, you know, he had the best positioning on it, but it almost hit the dead spot in his glove, the palm, and it looked like it almost popped out of there. So, you know, make sure that on cold days like this that you catch some of those that you have time to in the webbing.
And here's Jason Castro in his first year with the Twins, after coming up in the Astros organization. There's the Twins' first hit. Alex cuts it off in the corner, and Castro took a wide turn, but he wisely holds with a single.
What another nice play by Alex. That's a double automatically from anybody, especially a guy that hits from the left side of the plate, although he is a catcher. Alex cuts it off before it gets to the wall. Look at that angle. Perfect. Used that angle, caught it, bounced off the wall, and held Castro to a single. That was a great play. Not many lefties get hits off Danny Duffy. Lefties only hit 183 off of him last year is 1 home run. I can't remember who hit the lefty.
The previous home run was Jim Thome. And then there was like a 3-year span of appearances for Duffy without allowing a home run to a lefty. I want to say it wasn't a big home run type hitter.
Oh, okay. And a left-handed second baseman for the Rangers.
Odor hit it. Well, I was partly right and partly wrong. Odor doesn't strike you as someone who would be a big home run hitter, but he was last year.
They just got him a nice extension from the Rangers. There it is. Those are the numbers. Just getting ready to say it, and Castro gets a base hit. Makes him 1 for 3 in his career off Duffy.
3-1 on Jorge Polanco. So with 2 down, a single and a walk to put 2 on for Max Kepler.
Duffy just getting that lower half out in front a tad. Arms dragging behind and leaving the ball up. Even though Moustakas and Salvi went to the mound just now to talk to Duffy, there wasn't a lot of words exchanged. Kepler 0 for 3 in his career against Duffy.
Just below the knees, ball 1. Did he swing? Yes. Third base umpire Pat Hobart made the call on appeal.
Pretty close.
Slide step. And he surprised Kepler. 1-2. You brought it up. It's one thing for a pitcher to use a slide step like that, but he has to be able to throw all of his pitches. Or after a while, the book will be, hey, when he uses that slide step, here comes a fastball or here comes a breaking ball.
That's right, but he'll mix in all 3. And on his 30th pitch, he chose a good time to sneak it by him.
And Duffy thought that was strike 3. He was on his way to the dugout.
This Jerry Davis has been consistent so far early in this game. He hit Salvi where he wanted it, but Davis, like you said, has been true. He's been a hitter's umpire.
34th year for Jerry Davis, 19 for Tony Randazzo, 10 years for Rob Drake, and for Pat Hobart, this is his first year as a full-time major league umpire. Still 2-2. And there's Dan Duffy and Danny's wife Sarah just to the right. Vahe Gregorian wrote a beautiful piece in the Kansas City Star about Danny Duffy's family and his upbringing in Central California. 95 with that fastball. Danny Duffy has 3 strikeouts in 2 scoreless innings. We'll talk about the division, the AL Central, when we come back to Target Field. No score at the end of 2. No score, top of the third inning. Good start for Danny Duffy and Irvin Santana. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. If you go back to 2013, the Royals' first winning season during this current run, the Royals have the best intra-divisional record in the Central. In fact, they have the best intra-divisional record of any team in the American League since 2013. So who then is the team to beat in the American League Central Division if the Royals are so good in the division? Alcides Escobar loses a bat and pops out to Brian Dozier. The easy answer is the Cleveland Indians with their stacked offense, their rotation, their bullpen. They led the league in stolen bases. They went to Game 7 of the World Series, and they went out and signed Edwin Encarnacion.
Well, they lost Rajai Davis, who led their team in steals, so that won't be one department they probably won't lead in. But they're strong. There's no doubt about it.
And then Chicago, after a few years of trying to buy some wins, they were bringing in some big-name free agents, 2 or 3 at a time the last few years, and finally said, you know what? Tear this thing down and start all over again. Bunted hard and out at first base. Very good play by Dozier.
Better believe it. And Dozier, in order for him to make that play, he had to cheat. And what I mean by that is he started in from his second base position right when he saw Mondesi square around. He was coming in. Mondesi maybe a little too hard. Watch Dozier, and you're right of the screen. See how he's coming in? And he just shuffles it. He saves the transfer from glove to hand and makes it a lot quicker by just shuffling it over there and out of his glove. Excellent play.
So 2 quick outs. Now Alex Gordon is swinging away. Alex flied out to right in the first inning.
No, it's a great idea by Mondesi to execute a bunt just a little bit too hard. Puts a little bit more touch on there. They got a runner on, and with his speed, stolen base threat.
And he bunted a lot in spring training. Didn't just show bunt a lot, he actually bunted a lot.
And you know he should. That's a big part of his game. We saw that last season. But I did see him when he did swing the bat in spring training. He squared up a lot of baseballs and hit the ball hard, so he maybe won't have to rely on that bunt as much, although it's a good weapon to get on base.
3-1 on Alex. Full count. Celebrate opening day and show the neighbors your raised royal by flying your very own flag designed specifically for Greater Kansas City Day supporters. Limited edition flags are available for a $10 donation to Royals charities. Flags can be purchased online now at royals.com/flag or at KC area price choppers from April 7th through the 10th. 1 week from today, the Royals be home for the first time against the Oakland A's.
That weather's supposed to be nice. I took a little peek ahead, but you never know. Alex, he's battling Irvin Santana right here.
And hit hard, too hard. Buxton got a good break, and he's fired up as he takes a hit away from Alex. So that's puts a charge into the crowd. 2 good defensive plays behind Santana. Mondesi lost a hit because of Dozier and Gordon because of Buxton. This year, every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at McDonald's. That's all season long.
Sweet. That'll work.
See what those two playing up the middle.
That combination right there, a lot of range. That's for sure.
Eddie Rosario leads off. First pitch swinging against Danny Duffy. Games for Eddie Rosario with the Twins last year. Was sent back to AAA in May after beginning the season at the big league level.
Those are some decent numbers for 92 games. He's a good looking player. Ooh.
Wild swinger at times. Pitch
Good.
was never in the strike zone.
This young man has a high upside. He's got good speed, good defender. In the outfield, you can play him anywhere. He's a very excellent athlete. Good bunter.
Up the middle. And Mondesi has it go under his glove. It would have been a tough play even if he did catch up to it. Rosario is on to begin the bottom of the third.
Okay, two lefties out of the four that are in the lineup against Danny Duffy have gotten base hits off of it. Good try by Mondesi, but likely would not have gotten him had he gloved it anyway. Good effort. He's got tremendous range, does Mondesi.
Now second time through for Minnesota. Brian Dozier with a man on. Toyota League leaders. Brian Dozier hit 42 home runs last year, 11 against the Royals. That's the most home runs ever allowed to one player by the Royals in franchise history. Also tied for the most among active players against one team. It's really an interesting study, though, when you break down what Dozier did. By the way, the year before, Dozier did not hit a single home run against the Royals, and then 11 last year. He drove in 13. So if you think about it, that's not a lot of RBIs with 11 home runs. And the only time he did drive in again a run against the Royals last year was with a home run.
Yeah, and he pulled all of them. I mean, all of them here at the K, dead pull. Sits right up there and looks for anything middle in. Tries to ambush that fastball. But he did have a swing in this at bat here that he looked like he was trying to go the opposite field. It's unusual for him.
Rosario runs, and he does go to the opposite field. Paulo Orlando comes in from right, and Mondesi didn't hear him right away. One down.
Well, that play, Mondesi was going towards second base for Rosario to cover the bag, so he was a little bit out of position. Paulo had to really bust it in to catch that one. And there's a little slight breeze. It's cool like this. It can have an effect on the vision of the players. Your eyes start to water. See, Mondesi's going to second base, leaving that territory open there. Paulo, you got to call him off. You don't want to have any collisions out there or any ball that drops. Make him earn it. Duffy induced 13 ground ball double plays last year. Now that's not a high number because he's a fly ball pitcher. But just because you advertise our new promo with McDonald's, roll up a double play, it's going to happen right here.
Right here?
Right here. This pitch.
Who's he going to hit it to?
It's going to go, Eski's going to get it. It'll be 6-4-3. Duffy has a couple different looks over there. He's got a couple different moves. He's got an excellent step-off move. He's shown it once to Rosario. A slide step that gets the ball home quicker.
And last year the league only attempted 4 stolen bases against him. 1-0. So he's done a good job of keeping runners at first base. You would think teams would try and run against Duffy based on his opponent's batting average and all of his strikeouts. You're not going to get a lot of hits against him most nights, so you'd think there'd be more stolen base attempts to get a runner into scoring position. Changeup, and that had 2 Twins fooled. As Duffy was going to the plate, Rosario was going back to first, so he thought Duffy was throwing over there, and then Grossman thought he was getting a fastball, and it was a change.
And that's the one that's going to bring the double play ball. Get the hitter out front, the right-handed hitter, pull it on the ground. We'll see.
Slide step and a changeup makes it 1-2.
That's the pitch there that's really defined Danny Duffy, is the changeup. Especially coming out of the same arm speed as the fastball. It's extremely deceptive and tough for the hitter to catch it. Grossman, he's got some good numbers against Danny in his career. Out here, it's not going to work. And neither will the double play this time. It's twice now he's got him on strikeouts, and so he had threw 2 consecutive changeups before that heater, and he was tardy. That ball was by him. Good fastball.
Byron Buxton, who just made a nice diving play on Alex Gordon to end the top of the 3rd inning. He's still keeping a close eye on Rosario. Buxton struck out swinging at a changeup first time up. And there's another change, 0-1. Danny really likes that pitch today.
Staying with it, and that's smart because, you know, early on, coming out of spring training, pitching usually is ahead of the hitters, and those hitters, though, are looking for the fastball. They're looking for that pitch. So Duffy's listening to Salvi. Rarely shaking Salvi today.
Threw him another one.
Some more sink to it, that change up there. Usually it's a straight change, doesn't have a lot of fade on it, but took a lot off of that one.
Throwing 3 in a row.
It's possible. This slides. Ooh, he heated up on him there. Usually 0-2 could be a waste pitch, but it wasn't there, and Buxton wasn't taking anything up there. He was on it.
So he wants him to throw him to first base. So maybe Duffy's attention to Rosario over at first is more of a suggestion of Salvador Perez than it is the instinct of Danny Duffy.
I like that. You know, let Salvi take the game over. Let him call his game. Witt might keep it in.
Long run, Alex. Look out. And you wonder if the day game in Chicago last May crossed either Mike Moustakas' mind, Alex Gordon's mind, or both.
Yeah, very similar play, except maybe a little bit higher. It had a lot more height. Now Moose looked down once, you see twice. Now that second look, he might have lost the ball. There is some wind up there, and it's pushing in. And if you ask Mike Moustakas, he'll tell you that probably should have caught that.
He went a long way to get to it, though.
He sure did. But he went all that way. But he gave one look to see where Alex was, and then that's that second look that might have taken his focus off it just a little. And you can't blame him. I'm going to be looking around for Alex too. He can't afford any kind of collision.
Still 0-2. Buxton was on the Twins opening day roster last year. They were hoping he'd spend a full season in the major leagues. Was sent out before April was over and then finished strong when he was recalled. Into center field, and Lorenzo Cain is there. So we've played 3 and no score. The Royals come up in the 4th inning. It'll be Mike Moustakas, Lorenzo Cain, and Eric Hosmer. Chilly afternoon in Minneapolis. Parents, don't forget to sign the kids up for Slugger's Blue Crew, presented by Learning Quest 529 Education Savings Program. We'll give you some of the details here in the 4th inning as Mike Moustakas takes a strike. This year's membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, a flat bill cap, special edition earbuds, Royals eye black, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and much more. And all of that for just $30. So a jersey, a cap, earbuds, eye black, 2 tickets, and more for $30. And you can join now by visiting Royals.com/Blue Crew.
Glad they put the eye black in there. That's an important part.
Moustakas lined out to center fielder Byron Buxton in the 1st inning.
Notice the defensive shift on Moose. Not playing him straight up. That's respect.
I noticed the same thing for Alex Gordon too. Minnesota was not in an overshift for Alex or Moustakas.
I think Brandon Moss will be the key shifter. They'll be moving on him.
Fastball hit high and deep to right field. And that is run number 1 for the Royals and home run number 1 for Mike Moustakas.
Moose calls here at Target. Now, it wasn't his first at bat. It was his second at bat then he went deep. A couple years ago, his first AB went to the opposite field of the K, and Moose went on for a career year. Look at that, fastball right down the middle. He was sitting on it. Very nice, controlled swing. Caught it out front. You pull it, you got to be able to get out in front of it. And he knew on contact, as we did too, as we both left our seat. 1-0. That's what Duffy needs. Give him some run support. Make him feel a little bit more comfortable as he gets out there. Moose did it. Got him on the board.
That was against the White Sox a couple of years ago that you were referring to.
Tell you what, having Moose back in that lineup, you know, before he left last year, he had 7 home runs, and it was early in the season. He very well could have went on and had him a 25 home run season or 30. And Moose is the first one to leave the dance floor. All right, let's check him out. Got a little bit of rock back. Nice little short step. I like that. But look at how he reaches out, and everything's extended. The hips have already left. And now you just got to catch that ball on the back underside.
Sano throws out Kane. Lorenzo walked his first time up. Well, we'll see if that's a sign of things to come. As we've been talking about a transformation in the Royals offense this year, which they hope will include many, many more home runs. The Royals hit 147 last year. That was last in the American League.
It's going to be a different story this year.
Hosmer flied out to left field in the first inning. Two-0. Two and one on Hosmer. If you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the Royals. And if you're a Royals fan and you do not have the Fox Sports Go app, you are in the minority. Royals fans, more than any other fan base in Major League Baseball, used the Fox Sports Go app last year.
Love it. Whatever they can do to catch their team. Awesome. He's been coming out of his shoes. Three and two. That last one was a high fastball. Had him flailing and bailing. See if Irvin will give him a good pitch to drive here.
Fly ball to left field. And it's Sano going out from third.
It's twice now. Irvin Santana's gotten Hosmer out on high fastballs. Or not high, but they were just up in the zone.
Salvador Perez had a good at-bat in the second inning. Down 0-2, got the count to 3-2, and then single to left field. So he is now a .365 hitter in his career in this ballpark. Just got him on the arm. Popped up. And again, it's Sano into foul ground, back into fair ground, and that's the inning. But Mike Moustakas leads off the top of the fourth with the Royals' first home run and their first run of the season.
Up 1-0 courtesy of a moose bomb. But Danny Duffy, he's setting the tone. His first career opening day start, he's going after him. Using his different pitches, he's got the slider, changeup, the heater working so far. He's punched out 4 Twinkies this afternoon, and he's not done.
And really has a good feel for his changeup. Been throwing that, it seems, just as much as he's thrown his fastball today. Joe Mauer fouled out to Alex Gordon in the second inning. Alex made a nice play running along the side wall. Slider dips a little bit low.
Wow,
I guess.
that was a beautiful slider. Great dislocation.
Center field, Kane coming up. He's got it.
No problem. All of those sprints that Lorenzo Kane did in the offseason, that was no problem. And that's what he trained for. He said he trained so he could be able to make long runs at the K or anywhere else with acceleration. And, you know, usually baseball players aren't going to run 100-yard dashes to train. They're going to usually run 60s. And that's a short burst of speed. And that's just the way the game has been designed over the years. Football, they run them in 40s because it's a little quicker burst of speed. Baseball's at 60s. But he did hundreds because he said he wanted to make sure he had the endurance. Oh.
Minnesota comes back with their first run and home run. Miguel Sano with a line drive into the second deck.
Sano was setting first pitch fastball for Duffy. And Duffy obliged. Salvi got the target down low, but see how far he missed? He missed by about 1.5 feet. That ball is right in his wheelhouse. When you get a big, strong guy like Sano and you put one there, that's right where he was looking.
So the Twins answer. We're tied at 1. Jason Castro takes a fastball away. Castro singled up the left field line in the second inning.
It's going to happen. You know what? That's what hitters wait for. They wait for a mistake. And Sano was first pitch. Nobody's perfect out there on the diamond, and you know pitchers are going to make the mistakes, but it's up to the hitter to see if they can capitalize. And Sano Was waiting for it in there.
Now 3-0 on Castro. Is on with a walk. That's Duffy's second walk today. Join the Royals, Major League Baseball, and new era as we celebrate opening day. Make sure to wear your cap today and share a photo on social media using hashtag #CapsOn. Tune into all the opening day action today on Fox Sports. One out to Jorge Polanco. And suddenly Duffy's having a little trouble with the strike zone.
Well, so far, home plate umpire not going to help him out any.
Polanco. A couple of years ago, Minnesota Twins called up Jorge Polanco from A-ball. Not in September. It wasn't a September call-up. It was in late June. Actually 3 years ago. 20 years old. Skipping AA and AAA. So you can imagine if it took a while for him to feel comfortable at this level. That is very rare when that happens. I can't even remember the last time that's happened that early in the season.
Yeah, no, he's a guy that they like a lot at shortstop. Now he's not blessed with Mondesi type tools, but they like the fact that he's consistent on making routine plays at second base, short, third, either one of those spots he can play. But they're making it the everyday shortstop. Doesn't have the greatest arm and not the greatest range, but they like the fact that he makes good contact from both sides of the plate and might add a little bit of small ball with his offense.
Hosmer has plenty of room. 2 outs. Should point out that that call-up was because of injury. It was somewhat of an emergency situation. Other players readily available, but one day you're on a long bus ride in A-ball, and the next day you're in the big leagues. Max Kepler is one of Duffy's strikeout victims today. Danny struck him out with a fastball to win the second inning. Mike Moustakas homered in the top of the 4th. Miguel Sano is homered for Minnesota here in the bottom of the 4th. Good slider in for a strike. Max Kepler, born in Germany. Signed in 2009 as a 16-year-old. And then finished up his high school in Fort Myers, where Minnesota plays its spring training games. Got his first big league hit against the Royals a couple of years ago. Max Kepler. No swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. Last day of the season, right before the playoffs. In 2015, Max Kepler got a base hit against Johnny Cueto for his first big league hit.
He's got some power potential, pull power.
2-2. See, you may have noticed today Minnesota with a patch on their right shoulder, YL. That stands for Yorman Landa, 22-year-old minor league pitcher who, like Yordano Ventura, was killed in an automobile accident during the offseason. Landa from Venezuela, and they had a nice tribute to both Landa and Yordano Ventura during the opening day introductions today. Had him reaching. Kane will make the play in center field, and that's it in the bottom of the 4th inning. So both teams hit solo home runs. Sano ties it at 1 with his blast here in the bottom of the 4th. MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Customize at-bat to feature your favorite team and stay connected all season with live scores, news, StatCast, video highlights, radio broadcasts, and more. The #1 app for live baseball. Brandon Moss takes a slider from Irvin Santana. Moss grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning. 6-4-3. Moss, Orlando, and Escobar here in the 5th inning. That'll be out of play.
Now, Ryan, I told you that Moss might have been one of the most shifted players in the National League last year. And looking here, Paul Molitor has not over dramatically shifted his players for any of the hitters for the Royals, especially their lefties. It's unusual to see that, especially with Brandon Moss.
He does pull it right up the line, almost hit the bag, and Mauer, unassisted, takes care of Moss. Well, the shift we just showed you 15 years ago was a dramatic shift.
It was.
When you get the shortstop that close to second base, I mean, that was a big shift. And now today, you wouldn't even notice a shift like that.
I remember, but I got to play infield in my time, and when we went over the meetings before the game, they say, okay, pull, and pull meant 3 steps to your left. I pull. You're going to play him to pull. That was it. I mean, there was nothing like that.
Paulo Orlando with 1 out. First pitch slider, hit it off the end of the bat. Buxton started back, and he dives and makes a 2nd catch today. The first one against Gordon in the 3rd was a result of a good read. This one against Orlando was the result of a bad read.
And he slipped, so make the degree of difficulty even more because he was able to recover with no problem. When you have that kind of speed, that's what you can do. Watch him at the top. All right, watch him slip. And he started back and then he slips and goes down. And, you know, recovered. Irvin likes that. That's 3 hits now that have been taken away from the Royals. 2 by him, 1 by Dozier. Second baseman on Mondesi's attempted bunt.
Strike on Escobar. He was first pitch swinging against Santana in the 3rd inning and popped out to second. One and one. You're telling me and our audience in spring training that Heske's going to be swinging it this year.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He says, you know what, I hit 7 last year. You know, I'm not a home run hitter, but I'm going to take my rips this year. I'm going to get my money's worth up there.
Some impressive home runs during batting practice today.
We were watching.
The Royals want him swinging for the fences this year.
I'm not so sure that that's exactly what Ned wants, but I would like for him to be able to be a table setter and get on base like he always has.
3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th inning. Now we go to Joel for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Ryan, thank you very much. And our game recap, Mike Moustakas with the first run and homer of the year for the Royals. Danny Duffy so far looking very good, just giving up that 1 run and in a battle against his former teammate and a rematch of the World Baseball Classic a couple of weeks ago. Irvin Santana and Duffy are tangling here in Minnesota, and out in right field, a chance to talk a little bit more baseball with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Last year, Monty, Edinson Volquez was the opening day starter. Today, as we will see in our showstopper, Volquez gets the nod for Miami, pitches 5 shutout innings, then the reliever comes in, and look at Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper would end up first off with the catch, and then call him Mr. Opening Day when it comes to homers.
Absolutely, number 5 on his career as far as opening day home runs. That pitch in the middle part of the plate, a lot of guys are going to smash that ball. Sure enough, today Bryce Harper does the job.
Bryce Harper is a showstopper all of the time. We saw him at Kauffman Stadium last year. What a knack for opening day. Now some T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball Break notes. Madison Bumgarner. Is there a better hitting pitcher?
Well, he can mash, no doubt about that. 2 yesterday, opening day. That's a major league record for pitchers on opening day leaving the ballpark.
Hard to believe that the Yankees have lost 6 straight on opening day. And Ryan, one day, no one will ever talk about the trivia question of Yadier Molina awarded the first no-pitch intentional walk.
That's right. One of the rule changes from last year. No longer will Danny Duffy or any Royals pitcher or any pitcher have to throw 4 pitches for an intentional walk. Just simply alert the umpires and the batter goes straight to first base.
That'll be a great trivia question in the future. I like that little break there with the guys out there on the Fox set. That looked good.
Eddie Rosario also led off the 3rd inning and singled, never advanced beyond first base in that inning, followed by Dozier and Grossman. Tried to bunt. Can't tell there, was he trying to push it to 3rd or drag it to 1st?
Yeah, he was trying to push that over the Moose, 3rd base.
One and 2. Mike Moustakas homered, leading off the 4th inning. And then in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out, Miguel Sano homered, and that's all the offense so far. Still 1-2.
All right, Mr. Duffy, great to see you anytime in any ballpark, but there is one thing missing, your beautiful wife. Deanna's back home, helping her father recover from some surgery. We just hope that you'll be okay, Grandpa Duffy, soon. And Deanna, we get to see you. Miss you here.
And he strikes out his 5th. I mentioned it earlier, if you have a chance to read Vahe Gregorian's story on Danny Duffy and his childhood, it's a great read. Well, Joel was talking about the no-pitch intentional walk. We'll cover some of the new rules this year, which includes trying to speed up challenges. Managers now only have 30 seconds to decide whether to challenge a play or not. That's going to affect your buddy in Baltimore. After a manager exhausts his challenges, the crew chief may invoke a challenge for non-home runs beginning in the 8th inning. Remember, last year it was the 7th inning or later, where a team could request but not demand a challenge. So now it's the 8th inning or later. There is a 2-minute guideline for replay officials in New York to decide on a replay review, so they're trying to tighten that up in an effort to speed up the game. And then there is the Carter Capps rule. The name probably doesn't ring a bell for you. Relief pitcher in the National League who has a very unique pitching motion where he takes a little step off the slab, loses contact, and then another step with his follow through. And
not actually on the slab.
The rule says that you have to stay on the slab, and so managers were griping about that. And after reviewing him, and who knows, maybe others, but most notably him, the rule was official. You can only take one stride as a pitcher toward the plate. Lorenzo Cain onto the track to take care of Brian Dozier. He is 0 for 3, so those are rules changes for 2017. I still can't believe, Bud, that in the effort to speed up the game, nothing has been done to limit trips to the mound.
Yep, or limit September call-ups in the bullpen. Now you're allowed to have as many guys in the pen as you want. You can bring them in left and right.
37-man roster if you wanted.
That's
September.
what slows the game down. Yeah. Well,
the reason why I've been crying about the visits to the mound is that oftentimes a trip to the mound is designed to slow down the game. That's its only intent. You know, maybe a pitcher hits a wall quicker than the dugout was expecting, so you need to get somebody warmed up in the bullpen, so you'll send the catcher out there to talk to him just to slow it down, or you'll whistle out to one of your infielders, you know, go out and say something to the pitcher. Or the pitching coach will take a trip out to the mound and milk it for as long as he can, and you're just buying time. I mean, when that happens, that is designed for the purpose of slowing down the game, but they never call me.
They should.
2-1 on Robbie Grossman. He has struck out twice against Duffy, both times swinging and both times on a fastball. Danny in good shape with his pitch count, with only 1 inning and 20 or more pitches. 3-1.
Well, you know, there's not a lot of foul balls, but there's still a pretty good number of them. Usually Duffy, that's one of the culprits that gets his pitch count up. A lot of guys fouling pitches off. There's another one.
It's a consequence of a guy with good stuff. I mean,
right.
Hitters just can't make solid contact and put it in play, so he will fall victim to a lot of foul balls. So does Duffy try and get him again here with a fastball, or are they going to assume that he's looking for a fastball? Looks like Salvi asked for a fastball down and away.
Work the changeup on
was inside, and Grossman walks with 2 down. It's Duffy's third.
Didn't miss by much.
Here's our Missouri Lottery Fox tracks. It looked a lot worse because that's not where Salvi was set up. Grossman happy to just be on base today against Duffy. And here's Buxton. Taking a changeup for a strike.
Out of the slide step.
Struck out in a changeup in the first inning, and then Buxton flied to center in the third. Two.
Okay, now he's mixing in that breaking ball, and that's important. He's got to have that slider against righties. You can't just go 2 pitches against righties. They'll ambush one. They'll be sitting on one or the other. Mainly it's the fastball. So when Duffy shows that little slider there, that can mess up the hitter, the right-hand hitter. Grossman has decent speed. He just stole a couple of bags last year.
Got him again. 6 strikeouts for Danny Duffy in 5 innings, allowing just 1 run. Mondesi will lead off the top of the 6th inning. The Royals and the Twins are tied at 1. And our first contestant this year is James Williams from Liberty. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, James wins $100. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, James wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Mondesi, Gordon, and Moustakas. If anybody gets on, Lorenzo Cain will come up. Mondesi tried to bunt in the 3rd inning. Maybe bunted it a little too hard. And it gave Brian Dozier the opportunity to make a very good play coming in from second base.
Yeah, now Irvin's done a pretty good job as home plate umpire. Jerry Davis took that one off the melon. It's all right. It hit solid too. So Castro, the catcher, going to go out and talk to Santana, although Santana doesn't really need talking to. He's done a nice job. The Royals have lined out 4 times in today's game. A few pop-ups off of the bats of the Royals that Irvin's been inducing. But for the most part, 3 pitches, he's been getting it done. Fastball, slider, change.
That's the pitch the Royals want him to lay off of. Here's our sprint trivia question for today. Who is the youngest Royal to start on opening day? Mondesi is 21 years old, 250 days. So who is the youngest? It is not Mondesi.
Does it go way back?
It goes pretty far back. If it's who I think it is. A little easier play this time for Dozier. Mondesi still running hard on a routine play. If I'm correct in who I'm thinking about, Hud, I'll give you and everyone a hint. Mondesi is the 3rd youngest today, and the 2 younger than him are actually the same guy.
Okay. Is he managing in the big leagues?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Did they lose today to the Boston Red Sox?
Yes, they did, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Those are really good hints, Hud. If I'm right.
That hint you gave me, that was it. But I'd heard it before. A few years ago, I think we did this. Maybe last year when Mondesi got here.
Alex is flied to right, flied to center. His fly ball to center field was a diving play by Buxton.
Alex, he's waiting for that one. Changeup, good spot, down low.
Well, we're going to give people a little extra time to think about that one.
They might go and look and see who the Red Sox were playing.
And who the manager is for that team that the Red Sox were playing.
Yeah, I might get it. Oh, that was the one, just a little bit too high.
On the line, they're going to call that a foul ball catch. All right. There it is. Clint Hurdle, 1 year. Clint Hurdle was 20 years old. The next year, 20 years old and 252 days. Or excuse me, 21 and 249 days. So just a day younger than Raul Mondesi is today.
Huh.
Mike Moustakas has line to center and homer to right. Goes into the middle. And that's the inning. Good ballpark to pitch, and it's a good day to pitch. And we have a 1-1 tie at the end of 5½. Gordo Nation is back this year for only $35. You get a seat in left field, a limited edition Charlie Hustle brand t-shirt, and an Alex Gordon big head. So join your fellow fans out in left field for Gordo Nations. Tickets at royals.com/theme tickets.
Hey, the t-shirt's got Alex with his nice beard. I like it.
Tied at 1, bottom of the 6th inning. Joe Mauer has fouled out to Alex Gordon, and he has flied out to center field. Opening day start for Joe Mauer. No balls, 2 strikes. Let's go to Joel. Alex has a nice little run going in left field.
Yeah, we talked about left field and right field, but he now has 7 straight starts on opening day for the Royals in left field. No one's even close in team history. Bo Jackson had 4 straight, and active right now in the big leagues. That's also not too close. He's had the most straight starts. Sterling Marte is a few behind of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Also should mention that Alcides Escobar also starting in his 7th straight opening day at shortstop for the Royals. That ties Freddie Patek, who had 7 straight from 73 to 79. The only shortstop with a longer active streak in the majors, Elvis Andrus, who's now at 9.
0-2 on Mauer. Just to continue the theme for Mauer, 13 in a row. That ties Harmon Killebrew for the Twins record at any position.
Salvi's got 5. That ties Mike McFarland. Way to go, Mac.
7 strikeouts for Danny Duffy in 5 1/3 innings.
Duffy did a nice job setting up Mauer. A couple little sliders away from him. Then he says, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put a little wrinkle. Now, he's not afraid to throw a changeup to left-handed batters or righties. Now, righties, that's a preferred pitch against the righty because the ball usually moves away coming out of the left hand. And sometimes into a left-handed hitter, and ball coming in is a little bit easier to make contact with. That's why they don't like to throw it to lefties. But Danny's not afraid to.
3 strikeouts with a fastball, 3 strikeouts with a changeup, and 1 strikeout with a slider for Duffy's 7. Miguel Sano was sitting on a first pitch fastball in the 4th inning and hit a line drive into the second deck and tied the game at 1. He's also popped out to second base. Changeup, 1-2.
Great location. Yeah, that's the only mistake he made. And before Duffy made that pitch, we saw Salvi sitting up low and away for the fastball, and he missed up and in. I mean, it was a pretty good miss.
Changeup, and he had him out in front just enough. Mondesi wants it, and he's got it. 2 down. If you'd like to host your company, family, sports team, or other group out at Kauffman Stadium for a special occasion this spring, single game suites and party areas are now available for the regular season throughout the month of April and May. Call 816-504-4040 option 4 or email groupsales@royals.com for rates and availability. Duffy's at 95 pitches. 2 down in the 6th inning to Jason Castro. Castro singled in between Moustakas and the third base line in the 2nd inning, and then Duffy walked him in the 4th. Duffy has walked 3 and struck out 7. Good breaking ball, 0-2. So coming up on 100 pitches, Royals bullpen begins to move around, and that's Travis Wood warming up for perhaps his Royals debut. One and two. Other than the home runs, there really haven't been any scoring threats. Minnesota has had, if you take away the home run, they've had one runner beyond first base. The Royals have had 0 runners beyond first base. Moustakas has homered for the Royals. Sano has homered for the Twins. And pitch number 100 is in for a strike. And Danny Duffy, in 6 innings, has struck out 8.
Whew. Beauty. Castro, you got to go.
Handshakes, hugs, pats on the back for Danny Duffy. So he's done. He goes 6 innings. He gives up 1 run, 3 hits with 8 strikeouts. Travis Wood continues to warm up in the Royals bullpen. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com to get a free Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Papa Dan can sit back in his chair and enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, did you see who came over and hugged him? It was Wednesday's starting pitcher, Ian Kennedy. So maybe we can get some early season baton passing. One good start to the next.
Santana, on the other hand, has been incredibly efficient. 74 pitches.
Now, Royals have been doing a lot of first ball swinging, trying to get that fastball before he gets to his slider. You know, because I said before the game, Ervin Santana threw the 3rd most sliders in the American League last year. And it's not an easy pitch to hit.
4-pitch walk. Good start to the top of the 7th inning. Santana had set down 9 in a row and 14 out of 15 Royals before that walk to Lorenzo Cain. Santana has only walked 2 today, and both times that walk was with Lorenzo Cain at the plate. And the Royals, for just the 2nd time today, have the leadoff man on base. And now Eric Hosmer, who was flied out to left field and fouled out to 3rd. Upstairs, ball 1. And now they're moving around in the Minnesota bullpen.
See if Lorenzo Cain might try to steal a base. The last 4 years he's had double digits in steals. 28, 14, and 15. Irvin retired Hosmer 2 times today on high fastballs. 1 and 3 and 2 count. The other one, the count was in Irvin's favor.
Here's what I'm talking about right here. Why should the third baseman be able to go and have a little chat with the pitcher? That's not slowing down the pace of the game.
Just took 30 seconds off.
What does Miguel Sano have to say to Irvin Santana right now?
I don't know.
Hey, you know, I noticed your front side's opening up a little bit.
No, probably Irvin saying the same thing to himself.
That's his first strike of the inning. He missed with the first 6 pitches. Not running. Hosmer, kind of a half-hearted swing. He's asking Jerry Davis if he swung at a strike. 2-2.
Yeah, he was guessing. And might have been guessing off speed because that was a fastball away.
Full count. That looks like Justin Morneau right behind home
I just
plate.
saw him. And I saw him before the game in pregame ceremony. I'm surprised he's not with the team.
He's won a batting title, what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
3
in
years
Colorado?
ago. Saw him with the White Sox last summer.
Cain's running. Hosmer swings and misses and strikes out, but Castro dropped the ball. So Cain moves up into scoring position, and that's the first time today the Royals have had a runner standing at second base.
Okay, Cain with a good takeaway. Haas got fooled. The previous 3 and 2 count, he got a high fastball. He's probably guessing. So I think Irvin won that battle there.
And that is Irvin Santana's first strikeout.
Also been on him. His defenses have supported him. Some nice plays.
Changeup floats in there for a strike. Salvi is single to left and popped out to third. It is pulled foul and back into the crowd, in and out of a fan's glove, and he still ended up with it. Missed it at first, but he stayed with it.
Yeah, and they appreciate that effort. Oh, that hit off the rail first. Yeah, rebound. Okay, 0-2. Castro went out to talk to Santana, and I can tell you that they know Salvador Perez pretty well. And so if you're going to try to waste a pitch on Salvi, you better throw it way out of the batter's box, because Salvi's a good bad ball hitter, and he'll hit you.
Cain has Santana's attention, and maybe Lorenzo was doing that on purpose, trying to help out his teammate at the plate. 0-2, distract the pitcher.
You know, he definitely distracted Dozier, the second baseman. Uh-oh. It's a bad ball, but got to swing and miss.
So Santana goes 6 innings without a single strikeout, and then after a 4-pitch walk to begin this inning, back-to-back strikeouts. And now Paul Molitor is out of the Minnesota dugout with Brandon Moss coming up. Santana is only at 85 pitches.
And, you know, I'd be surprised if he pulls him here, but he's cruising. Let's see if Molly just wants to see how he's doing. Oh, he's going to let him finish.
And you got Moss coming up. You have an open base. Maybe checking to see, first of all, how Santana feels, and maybe checking in. What do you want to do here with an open base? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm remembering last season that he pulled Irvin Santana out in a situation that Irvin wanted to finish him off, and Irvin was visibly upset. It was at the K. I think when Irvin saw him come out this time, he turned away and said, "Oh, you can't be taking me out now. It's my runner out there. Let me get it." Pitchers appreciate that when their manager lets them stay in and take care of their own mess, even though it's not a real mess.
Well, it's the equivalent of a mess for Santana today.
Right. It's the first time the Royals been in scoring position.
Moss grounded into a double play in the second inning and grounded out to first in the fifth. Kane walked on 4 straight pitches to begin the inning. Changeup. That pitch, I think, has been more effective today for him than his trademark slider.
I agree. He's got some movement down and away to the lefty. He's used it on Alex, Moose, and Haas.
Moss. Yep, he knew he went. Go this time. According to third base umpire Pat Hoberg, everybody else wearing a white uniform on the field thought it was a swing. They're all heading to the dugout.
It's pretty close. Moss, he's one to hit awfully bad.
Santana missed with his first 6 pitches in this inning. But after the walk, 2 strikeouts. And that's hammered into the corner, but Moss was out in front.
Just a tad out front.
Santana in his first 6 innings did not strike out a single Royal, and then he strikes out the side in the 7th inning.
Got him on all sliders down in the zone.
So on opening day, we will stay here at Target Field as the fans stretch, and before Take Me Out to the Ball Game, God Bless America.
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home.
Offense happened in the 4th inning. Mike Moustakas leading off the top of the 4th with a home run, and then with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th, Miguel Sano homered for Minnesota. And that's it. Both starting pitchers going 6 innings, allowing 1 run, and now it's in the hands of the Royals bullpen. Travis Wood was warming up as Danny Duffy was finishing up the 6th. Then when Danny walked off the mound, but Ed Yost goes with Matt Strom in the 7th inning, and our Chevy called to the bullpen.
All right, turn it up. First pitch there, 94. They're working on a slider. He's been trying to tighten it up with Dave Island in the spring. And it's going to be a base hit, jam shot.
Jorge Polanco has his first hit of the year, and he's on to begin the bottom of the 7th inning.
Got to look fastball when you're facing Strom. Sure enough, he got it on his hands. Just bled it out there enough.
Max Kepler 0 for 2. The Royals are prepared for a bunt. Moustakas is on the grass in front of 3rd. And Kepler will show bunt. This would not be a fun guy to bunt against, especially if you're a left-hand batter.
He had 1 sacrifice bunt all of last season, so he's not comfortable doing it. But you know, sometimes your manager in a game like this, Hall of Famer Paul Molitor, skipper of the Twins, saying, hey, look, I need you to get that runner in scoring position. Do what it takes.
That is a foul ball.
Too bad.
Not too bad. That's a double play.
That was tailor-made for Salvi. Yep, with that 3/4 delivery from Strom and a left-hander, you know, you're seeing that ball coming out from behind your back. It's not a very pleasant bunting attempt right here, I can tell you.
Kepler was shortening the bunt.
Sometimes, and this is just part of the game here, it's getting late. The little things you can do can help your ball club win. Kepler probably not disappointed. He's probably thinking, well, you know, I'm going to impress my manager here.
Two and one.
Fastball, toughest pitch to bunt. Stay with it. Any kind of a wrinkle, any kind of an off-speed pitch gives that hitter an opportunity to get it on the ground, because most of those off-speed pitches are moving down. All you got to do is bunt the top of it. Heater stays straight. It's hard to get on top of.
Got the bunt down. Out at first base, and I think Minnesota is going to challenge. Call was made by Tony Randazzo.
Go ahead, nice touch by Kepler. Impressing Paul Molitor. A guy in his day could do the little things. That was awfully close because it was so well placed. Look at that. And Kepler is not messing around. Looked really close.
There's 5 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, and now Paul Molitor says challenge. So that's one of the rule changes.
And by looking at that play, it looked like Kepler beat it.
So the umpire who made the call, Tony Randazzo, with the crew chief, put the headsets on, and now, according to the new rules, they have only 2 minutes to decide. You can hear what the crowd thinks. Headsets come off. Two on, nobody out.
just making sure he can get out there, make that play. Strom give him a good throw, and Kepler's good touch on the bunt and his speed got it. Get base hit.
Now Eddie Rosario will probably be asked to do the same thing.
Yep. So Kepler, who only had one opportunity to bunt last season, got it down. Now let's see Rosario can get it down. He's a good bunter, but he's only had 2 sacrifices last year, all year. His ideal, he wants to bunt it to the third baseman and make Moose vacate the bag.
He bunts it to third. Moustakas was looking to third, expecting somebody to be there, but Escobar went to second base.
Well, they had on the previous play, they had the wheel play on it, and the wheel play is when the shortstop breaks to third base and ahead of the runner. But they took it off, and Moose wasn't sure. Escobar's pointing, you see him pointing, just get the out. That's all you need in that situation, get it out. Took one peek there, but he's able to shuffle his feet and get him going in the right direction. Good strong throw. Now it's time to see what they're going to do. 4 pitches.
A non-pitch intentional walk. So that's our first.
Okay.
Brian Dozier got to the plate, dropped his bat, and took off for first base.
That was a no-brainer. Oh, that took some time. I mean, it didn't take much time. It definitely erased. But, you know.
Gives the Royals a chance for a ground ball and a double play.
Roll him up.
Robbie Grossman.
I mean, it didn't take long, did it? Just put up 4 fingers and he ran to the base.
Ball 1. Grossman struck out twice against Duffy and he walked.
Tough point to get out of. You know, Strom rolled up 3 ground ball double plays last season. Let's see if he can get it one in the clutch here.
A little bit inside, 2-0. Strom is from North Dakota, and that's part of Minnesota Twins territory. So this was the team he grew up rooting for. So he has a lot of family and friends here at Target Field today. A bloop single, a bunt single, a sac bunt, and an intentional walk. Minnesota, so Polanco, who started it with the leadoff base hit, comes down from third, and now the bases are loaded, 1 out. Byron Buxton coming up, a right-hand batter, and Ned Yost is going to go to the bullpen. So a frustrating 2017 debut for Matt Strom. the bases loaded walk to Robbie Grossman. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions to this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, Target Field. Now the bases loaded, 1 out. And Byron Buxton against Peter Moylan.
All right. Ned Yost hoping that sinker-slider combination from Moylan can roll up a pair here. It's badly needed. Although Buxton runs well, be tough. He'll have to hit it right at somebody.
50 games with the Royals last year, and he was a free agent. Another Chevy call to the bullpen for Ned Yost after 6 excellent innings from Danny Duffy. Moylan was a late sign by the Royals in a minor league deal with a big league invite, and that makes the opening day roster.
Well, you know, he's fearless. He's a veteran pitcher, and he trusts his stuff. He goes out there. He's been in situations like this before, although it's been a first opening day for him since 2011.
Two and 1. Buxton against Duffy was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
That sinker slider, that ball moves in. The slider, he's got excellent command with it. At least last year he did. He could put it where he wanted. He could start at the hitter, and then he could start at the middle of the plate to move it off the plate. So far, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's getting Buxton to hit on top of the ball. Give him a chance for a ground ball.
Travis Wood is getting ready for Joe Mauer, unless Moylan can get a ground ball double play. Hacking out of play. Moylan.
Pop-up would work.
Pop up. Strike out. As you mentioned, if the Royals want a double play, Buxton's going to have to hit the ball hard right at somebody. So he can really fly. Kepler's at third, Dozier's at second, Grossman's at first. Big strikeout. 78 miles an hour.
That's a beauty. He took something off of it and did his job. Yeah. That's why they have him. Big timeout right there. Now let's check out the pitch sequence. Okay, starting him out with that sinker away off the plate. Now there's a sinker down. He tops it off of his foot. Slider down and away. A sinker in. That was the one he started at him. Almost got the pop up, and that one there, he took something off of it. So he's actually, by taking speeds off of it, he fooled him. Nice job.
So bases loaded, 2 down for Joe Mauer and Travis Wood. ball right at somebody, and he got the strikeout against Buxton. So the bases loaded, 2 down. Minnesota has a run in this inning to take the lead. On FS1, baseball is back, and the New York Yankees are looking to recapture their pride with last year's hottest rookie, Gary Sanchez, as they take on Evan Longoria and the Rays. Wednesday at 5 on FS1. 77 games out of the bullpen for Travis Wood with the world champion Cubs last year. Ball 1 to Joe Mauer. Mauer's 0 for 3 today.
Wood uses both sides of the plate. Works that fastball, slider, changeup. He's got some cutting ability. We're not able to cut that ball, but works both sides of the plate. But for both hitters, the lefties and righties, are very effective. Closed stance. Has a like a catapult like arm action, comes straight up over the top. A little bit unusual. You see a little bit more of a bend in an elbow from a pitcher. There's some deception there, especially when he starts closed like that with the ball behind his body.
A little bit low. There has been some talk about Mauer not getting some starts this year against lefties, as he struggled last year at .224 and was 0 for 3 against Duffy today. Three and 1.
87 to 92 with his fastball.
An intentional walk loaded the bases, and then an unintentional walk to Robbie Grossman forced in the go-ahead run. And now 3 and 1 on Mauer.
If you're Mauer, you better be coming out of your shoes here. Oh,
another bases loaded walk.
Wood not happy about that. Visibly disgusted on the mound. Wood wanted to throw that down the middle, just maybe off a little bit here.
3 of the last 4 hitters have walked. And now Travis Wood stays on to face Miguel Sano. Numbers last year for Travis Wood against righties. That's why Ned Yost leaves him in there. Great numbers against lefties. On the ground, foul.
This is when he can use his exceptional changeup, as he got Sano to hit it off the end of his bat and broke it. This is Travis Wood's best pitch is his changeup, especially the righties.
Miguel Sano hit an impressive home run into the second deck on a first pitch fastball back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, he also likes to throw cutters in on the hands of a righty.
2 and 1.
You can tell he's visibly upset. He's shaking his head. He looks like he's fighting himself. I mean, he's a veteran guy, so there's no need to put any pressure on himself and coming in a situation like this. But he's showing a little bit of body language out there.
3 and 1. Other left-hand batters on deck, and Jason Castro, and there's nobody warming up behind Travis Wood.
Well, it's always tough when you're making your debut for a new team. You want to impress, you want to try too hard, and that's kind of looks what Travis Woods is doing here. It's like he's just forcing it.
4 of the last 5 batters have And all 3 runs Minnesota has scored in this bottom of the 7th inning have come on bases loaded walks.
Well, Dave Island's telling him right here, hey, look, you know, we're going to leave you in here against this lefty. Come on, man, we need it out. Let's get out of this inning. Can't afford to give him too many more. I mean, the Royals have some good power and some comeback ability, but we need to give it to him by walking. And he's not trying to do it. It's just, like you said, look like he's fighting himself.
Castro has walked and singled. Royals have walked 7 total in the first 7 innings today. Now Castro is the 9th man to come up. And now ball 1 to Castro. The inning began with a bloop single to center field. And Max Kepler dropped down a sacrifice bunt, which turned into a hit. And he beat the throw to first base from Matt Strom. Over Moustakas and into left field. They're going to wave home Mauer, and the throw is offline from Alex Gordon, and the Minnesota Twins have come up with 5 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Wood trying to throw a strike. He did. He left it up. Castro with an easy swing. Stayed with it, let the ball travel deep, and picked a good spot right over Moose's glove.
9 men have come to the plate, and that was just the 3rd ball put in play. Outside to Jorge Polanco. He started all this with the bloop single to center field. And then he scored on the bases loaded walk to Grossman. And now Polanco shoots it through the right side. 6 runs have scored.
Polanco, he's looking to do exactly that. Wood pitched him away. He waited. He saw the big hole on the right side, and he hit it. Castro and Polanco, a couple of the Twins hitters down their order. Nice job finding the hole when they needed to.
Kepler, I thought, was really the key to the inning. As you and I were saying, Matt Strom would be an awful guy to bunt against if you're a left-hand batter. And trying to sacrifice, he ended up with a hit. Then an actual sacrifice by Rosario, and then all the problems with the walks.
Yeah, but you know, you have to credit the Twins and Molitor for keeping that bunt on with Kepler. Tough situation. Kepler answered the bell. And good mojo happened after that for the Twins.
4 of the runs are charged to Strom. And now 2 on Travis Wood. Two balls, 2 strikes. 4 walks in the inning, and all 4 scored. 3 of the 4 walks drove in a run. And the inning comes to an end after Minnesota sends 11 to the plate. Gives up a couple of walks with the bases loaded. Part of Minnesota's 6-run bottom of the 7th inning. Let's take a look at the University of Kansas Health System injury report. Jorge Soler beginning the season on the 10-day disabled list. That's another change. Typically it'd be the 15-day disabled list with a left oblique strain. He was taking fly balls in left field during batting practice today. Royals think he'll be back to swinging the bat in about 2 to 3 days. Some dry swings, meaning not hitting the ball off a tee or a soft toss. Matt Belisle will come on in the 8th inning and get Paulo Orlando, Alcides Escobar, and Raul Mondesi.
He's a right-hander. 89 to 94, sinking fastball, slider, changeup. Been around. He's a veteran. 6'4", 230. Big guy. All right, Royals got their work cut out for them. They need base runners.
Paulo is grounded to third and fly to center field. Off the end of the bat, right to Dozier. Well, Paul Molitor will take 6 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning anytime. But this also takes some strain off of his bullpen. His bullpen was a big problem last year. On their way to losing 103 games, the Twins began last year 0-9, and his bullpen blew 9 of the first 12 save opportunities.
They knew it was going to be a long year after that first week.
One and one on Escobar. He's popped to second and flied out to right field. Two and one.
Wow, looks like he comes across his body. I haven't had a chance to see him pitch, although he's been with it. Reds, Rockies, Cardinals, the Nationals. He's been around.
Three and one.
Has some sink to that fastball.
He spent a lot of time on the disabled list in his career. Yeah, you say he's been around. He was a 2nd round pick of the Atlanta Braves 19 years ago.
Wow. That's pretty good. Staying around now. He at one time threw 94, but today I saw some 92. He still might be able to get to that velocity, but you know, when you get up in years, you're going to take a little less off and get the ball moved, sink it down. Good pitch there. 91.
You know, you look at your scorecard, and I'm looking at mine, and you say, well, where are the wasted scoring opportunities for the Royals today? And there really are none. Royals had a leadoff single in the 2nd inning, and Brandon Moss grounded into a double play. Lorenzo Cain walked leading off the top of the 7th on 4 straight pitches. And that was in a 1-1 tie. And then Irvin Santana, who did not strike out one batter in the first 6 innings, went on to strike out the side in the top of the 7th inning. And then the Twins get 6 in the bottom of the 7th. Bauer flips to Belisle, close. Mondesi is out, and the Royals go quietly in the bottom of the 8th. Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Panera Bread, Panera caters for every group, every size, every meal. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Kansas City Royals. Downtown Minneapolis, the first time the Royals have begun the season in Minnesota. And this was a 1-1 tie going into the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Twins scored 6 runs on 4 hits. They turned 4 walks into runs. And now Mike Minor makes his Royals debut. 1-1 against Eddie Rosario. The Royals use all 3 of their lefties in the bullpen. Matt Strom and Travis Wood pitched in the 6-run 7th, and now Minor getting the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. That's out to Escobar at short. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Panera takes us around the major leagues, where Boston beat Pittsburgh. Rick Porcello, Cy Young winner from last year, gives up 3 runs in 6 1/3. Extra innings in Baltimore. There's 2 teams who hooked up for the wild card game last year in the American League. Tigers and White Sox postponed. Was it rain or snow?
I saw precipitation, whatever that means.
Really?
Yeah. Hey. Did you see some 96 from Minor right there, that pitch before that?
He has not pitched in the big leagues since 2014. But he was on the cusp of really becoming something special with the Atlanta Braves when he went down with a shoulder injury. He was an 11-game winner in 2012, and then in 2013 he went 13-9, and then his shoulder started acting up in 2014.
Ooh, right hit his hand.
Throwing hand. Dozier is on with 1 out.
Go check that out. That's unfortunate.
Nick Kinney's out there. Ned Yost, Dave Island. They're going to make him throw at least 1 pitch if he's going to stay in the game.
Let's see where he got it. Maybe in the palm.
Yeah, that's where you want to get hit if it's in the hand.
Not on any of the fingers.
Everyone's smiling and laughing, so that's good news.
Not what you want when you've been out for a few years.
The first pitch wasn't very good, so he's smiling. Says, "Let me give you another one here." That looks a little bit better. The problem with pitching is if you get hit on the hand, even if you're not injured, even if nothing's broken, just a little bit of swelling on a fingertip or in the palm of your hand changes your grip totally. And a pitcher with a grip they're not familiar with isn't going to be able to throw strikes. So it always seems minor when, no pun intended, when the ball goes off a pitcher's bare hand, but it doesn't take much to throw a pitcher off.
Well, and you could tell where the ball deflected to. It took a lot off and went to the second baseman, so it got a pretty good piece of the palm. Definitely not what he wanted. Much rather let that ball go. You know, it looked like he was trying to, get out of the way of it.
Yeah, there are many times when the ball is hit back to the pitcher, he will try and grab it with his bare hand, and the reaction is, "What are you doing?" But that was more in self-defense. I mean, that ball was coming right back at his face.
Yep. And especially when it's cold.
Minor last year signed a 2-year contract with the Royals, and the Royals knew that they would get very little out of him last season. He missed all of 2015, recovering from shoulder surgery. He pitched 2 games at AA Northwest Arkansas and pitched 8 games at AAA Omaha. Just trying to get him back in shape for this season. 2-2 on Grossman. Grossman was one of 3 Twins hitters who walked with the bases loaded in Minnesota's 6-run 7th inning. Good changeup.
It's one of his best pitches there. He looks good, like a fastball. Got some life to it. I want to see his off speed. I want to see his breaking ball. This has got a good breaking pitch.
Tomorrow's a day off, and the Royals will play noon games on Wednesday and Thursday. Ian Kennedy will pitch on Wednesday against Hector Santiago, and our coverage begins at 11:30 here on Fox Sports Kansas City. Byron Buxton. Salvador Perez sees it and makes the play. That's the inning. So Mike Minor's Royals debut is a successful one. The Royals are down by 6 as they come up in the 9th inning. No, homered in the bottom of the 4th, and we had a 1-1 tie going into the bottom of the 7th, and Minnesota scored 6. So last chance for the Royals as they come up in the 9th inning. And coming up right after the game, Joel and Monty will bring you Boulevard Royals Live. Danny Duffy, in his first big league opening day start, gave up 1 run in 6 innings. He struck out 8. Mike Moustakas homered in his 2nd at bat of the game. Santana gave up 1 run, 2 hits in 7 innings. Matt Belisle pitched a scoreless 8th, and now Brandon Kinsler will get the top of the order in the 9th.
Yep, Kinsler's been penciled in to Paul Molitor as his closer. 5'11", 190, sinker ball. So he did last season. 35 strikeouts, and limited action is 54 1/3, but he's getting the opportunity to go sinker, slider, changeup. 90 to 92 on his velocity. I guess Perkins is still out with his shoulder, huh?
60-day disabled list,
Wow.
recovering from his surgery last year.
Glenn Perkins, he had that closer's role here for many years.
Strike at the knees to Alex Gordon. 0 for 3. Lost a hit in the 3rd inning on a diving play by Buxton in center field.
But, you know, it's not a safe situation, but you want wants to get him in there.
Well, you're coming off 103 losses. Pitching was the biggest problem for the Twins last year. Their bullpen was really bad in April. We mentioned Minnesota began last year 0-9, and their relievers blew 9 of the first 12 save opportunities. Sano with the shift. Does it pop out of his glove?
That should be a hit. He had to range 4 or 5 steps. Caught him in a dead spot in his glove. Let's see. Alex, good job going the other way. Yeah, looked like hit him in the heel, the glove. He had plenty of glove to get it, but just couldn't get it in the pocket.
That's a base hit. Yeah, I mentioned that an inning ago, Hud, that as much as their bullpen struggled last year, opening day, I mean, this is going to be the biggest crowd they're going to have probably for a while. And today was not even a sellout. I mean, they may have sold all the tickets, but there are plenty of empty seats. So this is a nice breather for the Twins bullpen to begin the season, and Kinsler still has the opportunity in a non-safe situation to be on the field when the guys are shaking hands.
Yeah, and it's be something welcomed if they can just get a W here in Game 1. How many games did it take them last season to get a W?
Not until their 10th game.
Ooh.
Minnesota, by the way, has dropped 8 consecutive opening days. They have had an awful time against the Royals. Royals were 15-4 against Minnesota last year. Only twice in Royals history have the Royals had 15 wins against one team in a season, and both times against the Minnesota Twins. Last year in 2013. Royals have won 7 consecutive series against Paul Molitor's Twins going back to 2015. They have won 5 consecutive series here at Target Field. It is very rare for the Twins and their fans to be feeling like this in the 9th inning against the Royals. Full count on Mike Moustakas. 1 for 3 with that 4th inning home run.
The Royals might could put a little scare in him. Take away from some of Kinsler's confidence, since he is going to be their closer to start the season. Stays on top of the ball, drives down, really wants to get that sink, that late sink to his fastball. There's a good pitch.
Might have been ball 4. Second double play turned by the Twins today. Let's take a look at our Honda player of the game, Urban Santana. 7 innings, 2 hits, and only 4 base runners, and 1 run.
Did a nice job. I'll tell you what, Urban knows what he's doing. The veteran pitcher, he's faced the Royals many a time, and he was able to take advantage of the aggressive offense. Royals swinging early, keeping the pitch count down, and he had some nice defensive plays behind him. Have to credit the Twins in their opener. They played a flawless game.
What do some coaches say about playing baseball? Sometimes you have to take what your opponent gives you. And they were given some gifts in the bottom of the 7th inning, and they made the most of it. And the Royals really have just had very few scoring opportunities today.
I mean, I can't remember a crowd at Target Field in the 9th inning up in a long time. You mentioned that record, 15-4 over last year. That's dominant.
Still 1-2 on Kane. Wasn't easy for Brandon Kintzler. He was a 40th round pick 13 years ago, released, played 3 years of independent ball, one of those years across the river in St. Paul, and then signed by the Brewers, the Milwaukee Brewers, out of the Northern League in 2009, and now they get a chance to be a closer for a big league team. 2-2. Minnesota Twins bullpen last year had the highest ERA in the league, threw the most innings, which is never good. They allowed the most home runs and had the fewest saves. But today the bullpen has 2 scoreless innings, and Paul Molitor gets a very rare win against the Royals. Minnesota Twins with a 6-run bottom of the 7th inning, and they take game 1 7-1. We'll be right back.